Okay, we're going to go over some basics of how to set up a drawing. As you can see, this drawing is for the connecting rod bottom that we did model pretty early in the class. And you can see that we've got an isometric view up here. We've got a front, top, and a side view, some basic dimensions, and we have added some center marks and some center lines. The views are also shown with hidden lines visible. To change those, you would just go to your display style and you can change those here. You'd select the view and go to your display style. This is the primary view here, so whatever you change here will affect these other two views. If you want to change just a specific view and it's not the primary, you can go to that specific view and you can change it there. Same thing applies for up here in the isometric view. You select the view and you can change your view style, your display style. We're going to go over this. I'm going to delete all of these views and just recreate this for you. Okay, so there's different ways that you can start a drawing. You can go to, if you open up SolidWorks, just open SolidWorks and you don't have any parts open, you can start a new drawing by going to File, New, Drawing, right here. It'll prompt you for the size that you want. Most of the time we're working in the ANSI landscape. That's the A size, that's 8.5 by 11. I know it's kind of confusing here because it has millimeters, but you can see if you click on it again right here, it shows 11 by 8.5. If you just have these selected, it's just going to have standard formats, but most of the time you're just going to unclick this and select ANSI A. And for now, you're going to uncheck display sheet format. We'll get into that later. Okay, so you're going to have this blank page here, and you're going to need to insert your model. Browse here and find the part that you want to do a drawing for. You would press open, and this dialog box pops up. You would select your first view by selecting it over in one of these buttons. We're going to start with our front view, so we're just going to click that right here. And we're going to click our primary view here. Top view by sliding our mouse up, clicking. We're going to go down to our primary view and then move our mouse over here. And to do our isometric, we can go over to here. Then you would change your display style. Like I said before, this primary view will control these other ones. So if you change to hidden lines visible right here, it's going to affect these. And in this case, it's affecting this one as well. We want to change this we're going to change this to shaded by just selecting this view like this and going right here to our display style. This box is appearing for some reason. Not entirely sure why it's showing that. I'll just ignore that for now. Another way that you can insert those views if you happen to have the file open, like you're working on your model here, you can go to File, Make Drawing from Part, select your sheet size, make sure Display Sheet Format is off, press OK, and this dialog box will pop up over here, and then you can drag your view in here and create your multiple views. I can just do that like this. It should. Mine isn't working. This is the problem with that one. We'll do it a different way. You're going to go to Insert, Drawing View, Model, and if it's open, like it is in the other view, you would just make sure you would select that and go to this arrow right here, this next arrow. And then you follow the same procedures here. You select your primary view, click, 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 and then press Escape, and you would just move your views, set your display styles, etc. Okay, now that we have these views kind of in place, I'm going to make some of those changes that I showed earlier. Hidden lines visible. That one's already shaded. And I want to hide these tangency lines. That would be, an example would be this, these right here, and these right here. The way to do that is we're going to do this every single time. So we're going to go to our first view here, click on it to select it, right click, go to Tangent Edge, Tangent Edges Removed. We're going to do those for all views here. Click here, Tangent Edge Removed. Same thing here. Click on the view, right click, Tangent Edge, Tangent Edges Removed. Okay. Now we want to start adding dimensions. So we don't have a standard template quite yet. So we want to create some layers. I'm going to undo this because this might be what you already see. If you don't have the layers toolbar showing, you would go to View, Toolbars, Layer, and this pops up. We're going to add some layers by clicking in the layer properties here. Well, popped in way over here. New. Our primary one is going to be Object. And we're going to keep that black. Okay, I'm going to go to New One, and I'm going to type in Dimensions. And then I'm going to change the color to red. I'm going to press OK. And then if you look down here back at your layers toolbar, you can see that I'm in the dimension layer. If I want to change that, I can just click the arrow and change the layer here. If I've already created something and I want to change it to a different layer, say I create a dimension in the object layer, say I do this, and I go, oh, I wanted that in another layer, rather than delete it and go change your layer and go back, just select it and go down to your layers down here and click on the layer you want it to be in. Okay, let's change some of our settings for this. In the drawing, there are 3 positions after the decimal. So we're going to go and change that by going to Tools, Options. It's always going to be down at the bottom. You might have to scroll down. Document Properties, Units, and you can see right here, it says 0.12. We need 3 positions. So I'm going to click in this box, click this down arrow, and go to 0.123. I'm also, while I'm here, going to make sure, these might be different for you, but we want to make sure that these settings are in all of our drawings. So we want all of our text to be horizontal. We can go through a few of these. Primary ones are diameter, linear, radius, and then we're going to press OK. Let's start throwing some dimensions in here. I'm going to change my layer to dimensions, and I'm going to go right here to Smart Dimensions. I'm going to add a dimension between here and here, between the hole spacing. I'm not going to click in the middle here. I'm going to click on the line. I'm going to drag that up. When I'm happy with the position, I'm going to click. I'm going to put a dimension right here by selecting this line and this line and dragging that over here. Zoom out, change to front view. Got a radius right here. I'm going to click on the curve itself. I'm going to drag this out to about here, trying to match the drawing. I've got another one, a little radius here. And mine look a little different than the drawing. They're underlined, but that's okay. Also, another setting we need to change is we need to suppress these leading zeros. So we'll go back to the settings in a minute and change that. Okay, let's add this dimension here. Okay, we need to make a change. This one is showing up as a radius, but in the drawing, it's shown as a diameter. If we want to change the way that that is shown, we can go and we can change it here. Another way to do it, if you have it deselected, I'll undo that. If you have it deselected and you want to change it, you can select it, and this little dialog box appears. You can also right-click, and it appears again. Okay, let's finish adding some of these other dimensions here. Guess there's only one. Okay, now we're going to add some center lines and center marks. So in our annotation tab, we're going to go right here to center mark. We want a center mark here, and we have them here, but I want to redraw them. I'm going to click on the largest curve. Oh, that's right. I need to change this setting. This is what happened in class. I'm going to delete that. Center mark. Notice right over here, it's reading this as a slot because it's a slot shape. For this one, I have to change the center marks to go right here on the slot ends. This is pretty unique for this drawing. You're not going to run into this problem very often. Okay. Now we need to add some center lines. We always add center lines when we are looking at a hole from the side. Okay, I want to add it here. I can click on this line, or this line and this line. Doesn't matter. They share the same axis. Same thing over here. I'm going to press escape. And I want to make these a little bit bigger because I want them to go all the way through the line. The line to go all the way through the hole, sorry. So the way that I do that is I would select the center line. You see the little grab points up here? I can just hover over this point, hold my left mouse button, and just drag it down. Do the same thing over here. Select, go to this point, hold the left mouse button, drag down here. If I needed to enlarge or shrink some of these little lines coming off the center point here on the center mark, I can select that and I can move these the same way. If it'll let me, maybe it'll let me. Now, it's being difficult. Let's just move this one. Or not. I guess it's not letting me do that. It's very strange. Well, normally you can do that. Okay, so the last thing we need to do for this drawing, or there's two things. We have a note call out for this counter bore right here. We're going to go to note right here. And we want to attach this to a line or an object. In the drawing, it's showing an arrow going to here. So we're going to click right there. It's going to attach that arrow. And we're going to click and we're going to start typing our text. We're going to change the size of this. Okay, I'm going to put my cursor right here and I'm just going to select all of this. I'm going to change this to see what 8 looks like. That's pretty good. I'm going to press this, well, I'm going to press the check mark here to get out of that. And I got the text. Okay, so the last thing we're going to do is we're going to get rid of these leading zeros. So we're going to go back to Tools, Options, Document Properties, Dimensions, and we're going to go right to leading zeros and we're going to change that to remove. Press OK. Now our zeros before the decimal are gone. That's exactly what we want. You can change anything. You can move your views. You can move your dimensions. You should to line them up, make them look good. This is not good. This is crossing. That line is right in the middle, so I can move that here. I could move it back a little bit. I'm going to actually just move it right there so that line isn't going. I wonder if I can edit this now. No, it's not letting me. It's so strange. Okay. And then I would make sure that I was saving along the way. This is connecting rod bottom, so I've already saved this before, so it's probably going to come up. Connecting rod bottom, it's going to call it the same thing when you open it up as the part, and it's saving it as a SOLIDWORKS drawing. And there you go. To learn more about our program, check us out at fvcc.edu, and for more tips and tricks, subscribe to this channel.